Friends, I want to thank you so much for offering to pray for us. As you're aware, our nation is going through an extremely difficult time. Just the number of cases that have happened in this second wave that we're experiencing is huge. In fact, we have at the moment over 350,000 active cases in the nation, and it's really made people go through so much pain. There's so many people struggling in families, and there's no proper access to medication. Hospitals are completely jam-packed, and you would have seen some of these images and pictures and descriptions on your news channels as well. And we are really struggling. At the time of me recording this, around 35,000 people are dying on a monthly basis, and that's huge in our midst. It is estimated that by the 15th of May, the death count would be around 1 million people. The only thing is that the recovery rate is 89%. But at the same time, the graveyards can't cope, the crematorium can't cope. The government has actually given permission that these cremating and burial are done in private lands, open spaces, even footpaths and pavements in our country. So you can picture how hard it is for us. Please do pray. I'm going to share 3 prayer points with you, and would really appreciate that today, right now, that you will cry out to God for our nation. Firstly, will you just pray that all these projections, all these numbers that they're talking about, are how it will peak, that it'll be null and void, that God will come in and change the situation. I also want to ask you to pray for compliance during lockdown. People have been a bit casual and things have escalated because of that. Pray that the lockdowns will cause the things to actually change in our nation, and that people will follow those protocols that the government is putting out. And thirdly, please pray that the rate of infections will plateau. Will you join us? Will you stand with us? It's a time that we genuinely need people to cry out to God and ask Him to intervene in our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for taking this time to pray for us. You heard from Samir the situation in the nation. It is grim, as he put it across. I mean, it is very difficult. But I also like to give some update about the Commission family across Southeast Asia. There is a chart coming on your screen, will give you an idea of how we are spread out, and each region, what the number of people have been affected. These are only numbers that we know. And as I'm talking to you, we get report from our friends and families in other states have got number of cases of COVID infected people. Me and my family were affected with COVID, and we are on to the road to recovery at the moment. So thank you. I know a number of you have prayed for us as a family, and number of our leaders are also affected, and they're all recovering. While one hand we see people are recovering, on the other hand there are new cases appearing as well. So with that comes, there are some challenges. One is, we are doing our best to really reach out to people and encourage people, but still there is fear, anxiety. There is really a fear of the unknown, because you put on the news and there is hardly anything that is encouraging. So I would like us to pray for, there are a few prayer points coming on a PowerPoint soon after this sharing. So pray that our people, those who have been affected, will recover soon. Some of the recovery is actually taking longer than expected. I myself experienced that in my own life. So a number of people are recovering slowly. And then there are few people who have lost their life. Now, we know that they are with Jesus, but the pain remains. So if you could just pray for those families, particularly for comfort. One of our leaders who's gone to plant a new church in January, he took an early retirement from work and wanted to plant a church, and he very sadly he lost his wife with COVID. So we want to pray for that family too. And then there are people who are affected, the pain of just going through the COVID and the isolation and all the practical things, as you know, Samir put it across, where medical aid is becoming a scarcity at the moment. So please, will you pray for these things? Thank you once again for standing with us and praying for us. There are a few points coming straight after this, and if you could pray for us, and then Sydney and David also going to share a few points. Thank you so much. God bless you.
We appreciate your prayer for me and my family as we've battled through COVID ourselves and are recovering slowly. Thank you so much for your prayer all over the place. Will you join us for praying for the millions of poor affected by this economic downturn? An estimated 120 million migrant workers are expected to lose their jobs. They will have to travel back to their hometowns, and there's a very strong likelihood that they'll be carrying further infections into the village. Please pray with us. Arrangements to be made for them to travel back to their homes. Employees to help them with money for basic necessities. Thank you so much for standing with us. We really appreciate this. God bless.
Hello everyone. I'm really here to cover the section on India's medical facilities in this crisis situation. India has a healthcare system that consists of private and public endeavor. The number is highly inadequate for its population of 1.3 billion. Apart from other areas of the economy, nothing has exposed the underbelly of this very fragile healthcare system. According to the Indian Medical Association, 743 doctors alone, not counting nurses and other support staff, have succumbed to COVID-19. All hospitals in urban and rural areas have been overcrowded. Well, to the government's credit, it has sought to set up new facilities, but these have been woefully under-equipped. In some shocking situations, the lobbies of hospitals have been used as temporary COVID wards. And these hospitals have a staff that are stretched to the limits. Some COVID centers have been opened up in urban areas only. The rural countryside, where 70% of Indians live, has very sketchy medical facilities. In some areas, all you have is a mission hospital, and that too, you can just have one or two doctors to handle a population of thousands of people. We have a huge population that is in urgent need of vaccinations. A little over 1% of the population has been vaccinated as of today, and we are facing a severe vaccine shortage. Ironically, India is known as the vaccine manufacturing hub of the world, and it also has supplied vaccine to other countries. In this situation, people are running from pillar to post to get medical help, both mainly in the big urban cities and in small towns. And as a result, we are seeing the number of deaths increasing very sadly. In this scenario, we believe, we know there are many heroic stories also. For example, doctors in mission hospitals, which we are personally familiar with, are working around the clock to change their hospitals and make them COVID centers. And you find people being trained and also working beyond the call of duty. This has stretched the entire system to breaking point. So we really covet your prayers, and we believe God must intervene in this situation if we are not going to see the kind of disaster, impending disaster that we are facing. We have the spectacle of the curve spiking by mid-May, and we need your prayers to ask God to reverse this trend. God bless you, and thank you so much for praying for us.